Welcome back to Leeds Lately, everyone, for the live watch-along of Leeds United versus AC Milan at the Aviva Stadium in Dublin. Seen a lot of pictures of Joe being behind the scenes on kind of media duties today, so that's really cool to see. But yeah, Leeds look like they are going to be playing a fairly strong side today. Welcome to everybody who's joining us. Welcome to all of our Leeds Lately members, of course. We have Pierre in here. We have CB. We've got John Garside. I imagine there's probably some others as well. But welcome, of course, to all of our normal subscribers as well. It's good to have you all here. Good to have you all here. And what a great community it is. Leeds United versus AC Milan. One of the battles of old, 20 odd years ago, when I was just a young pup, and I couldn't even watch them because I was too young. And Leeds United are back up against AC Milan today in Dublin. AC Milan described Leeds as Yorkshire Giants. So that was a nice kind of glowing review that they gave us. But today it looks like Leeds are going to be playing a fairly strong side. So when we look at the lineup, we get to see our first outing of Lucas Perry in goal. Lucas Perry, of course, famous for his volleyball-esque throwouts, so I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing one of them today. That'll be a crowd favourite, but in general he's supposed to be a very good goalkeeper, so I'm excited to see what we see from him today. Isaac Schmidt comes back in, surprisingly. He had a bit of a stinker against Villarreal, but manages to maintain his place based on the fact that Jayden Bogle is injured, obviously suggesting that we need to recruit in that department rather desperately. Schmidt going on in the right-back position. Then you've got Rodon and Strauch as the two centre-backs. Prepping for that Everton game, of course, Jakub Bijol is suspended for that game. So he is not available. So it is going to be Rodon and Strauch. So I think that's probably why we're starting with that lineup. And then, of course, you've got Goodmanson at left-back. Ampadu and Stack in the two holding roles, followed by Al Tanaka just in front of them. Longstaff drops back to the bench. And then you have Dan James, Wilfred Gnonto, and Joel Peru as the front three. I am not Joe Blackburn. I bought myself a... welcome to the stream, Joe, of course, my good friend. I bought myself a green screen. Because when we've moved house, we're renovating and everything, and it's kind of just how the last people left it. And this room is one of the rooms where kind of, whilst we've got no box room, spare room, whilst we've got no living room, a lot of stuff has been dumped in here, so it doesn't look great as a background for the videos. And obviously I'm not happy with it looking like that on streams and videos, so I've decided to buy myself a green screen and then make myself a little background and stuff, just so just so it looks a bit more profesh. But no, I'm not using NVIDIA. I'm using a green screen, an Elgato green screen. CB with the super chat. Thank you so much, CB. Like I said a few weeks ago, now that this is kind of, this alongside graphic design is now my kind of full-time job, any little helps, and that really, really helps me out. So thanks, CB, so much for that. Before I forget, hoping for a 2-0 win today, Max. Yeah, that would be fantastic, wouldn't it? If we can keep a clean sheet, and then that would be amazing. Leeds, of course, are a side that's just been promoted to the Premier League, and AC Milan are a very well-established top-tier Italian giant. But they have also got a game, or they also had a game a couple of days ago, or in a few days, like 2 days or something. So I think it's going to be a very strange lineup for them. But we'll have to have a look into it. In a second, we'll go and have a look at their lineup. But thank you so much, CB, for the super chat. Greenstein's green screen settings versus your GPU on fire. Potato, or potato, I suppose. But it's hard to say that in text form. I'll be pleased with a 0-0. Yeah, I'd like to see some goals though. You know, you kind of want to see a bit of entertainment from a pre-season friendly, don't you? Let's have a little look at the AC Milan lineup. I imagine someone will have retweeted it onto my timeline at some point. Oh, apparently Habib Diarra scored for Sunderland against Augsburg. I don't really want those notifications on my timeline. First thing to do, though, is actually talk about the Leeds bench. On the Leeds bench, we have Darlow, Cairns, Bijol, Byram, Longstaff, Gruev, Aronson, Ramazani, Harrison, Chadwick, Gray, and Metcher. So that is the Leeds United bench. Oh, we're getting some Brinlaw commentary here. AC Milan. So here is their lineup. Yeah, they've got some players in, some very good players in, like Noah Okafor up front. Let me just turn you down a little bit, Bryn. They've got Chukwueze in the starting lineup. Musa, Estepinian. It's a weak lineup. It's a weak lineup compared to what they can put out. But on the bench they have Mike Maignan, Tomori, Malik Thiaw, Samuel Ricci, Luka Modric, Alexis Salamakers. So they have some kind of stronger ones on the bench as well. So I imagine that they'll probably be making some substitutions at some point. But with their kind of weakened side to start with, it's probably a good chance for Leeds to be able to maybe get in front in the first half. Let's go back to this so that we can see you all. Yeah, Milan's they're playing a very kind of weakened side, very weakened side. Just give me 1 second. There we go. I don't look so ridiculous now. Well, that was good timing. I didn't even mean to do that. But the third kit is now out, and you can use my link in the description down below to get yours. At no extra cost to you, but I'll get a small affiliate kickback from that link, and it'll allow me to continue to do things like this on the channel. So thanks so much. If you want to, you can go ahead and get the away kit. Or you can go ahead, of course, and you can go and get the third kit as well, as you've seen here, which is definitely growing on me, by the way. I like this. I like the fact it's a unique kit. It's not just an Adidas template. I like that. But yeah, if you want to, you can go ahead and you can get that. And of course, if you are new here and you find that you can't put something down in the comments below or down in the description, down in the live chat below, then make sure that you hit the subscribe button that I think is hidden under this desk element. Nope, it shouldn't be, so it should just work. There we go. Hit that subscribe button if you're new here. That would massively help me out. But yes, we've changed it up. I know the last one was just like a temporary thing where I was just like playing around with things and how would it look. But this one is now essentially, I think, what we're going to use for the season. So yeah, there we are. Very happy to see Perry there. Big Chazza saying, yeah, me too. I've wanted to see a bit of him for a while. I think we need to see what he can do, really. You can see AC Milan are lining up in the tunnel already. I wonder if I'll see any familiar faces in the crowd from a Leeds persuasion. Yes, Joffy has gone to Hull on loan, Karen's saying. Joffy's gone to Hull and Mateo Joseph's gone to Mallorca as well. So we've had two players go out on loan, which again suggests that Leeds United are very confident in the fact that they think they're going to get a striker in. Because Bamford's been told he's in the 21s. Joffy and Joffy and Mateo Joseph have been loaned out. So essentially, it is literally just Piru and Mecha. So they seem like they'll be very confident in getting in another striker. 138 people watching, 128 people that I can see, and only 27 likes. Make sure you smash that like button. We know as a fact that if Leeds United, if we get 100 likes in the stream, that's when Leeds United score a goal. Yakubiyol having a few words with some of the AC Milan players. I think Pavlovic maybe obviously played together. Does he play for the national team as well? I imagine national team and played in the Italian league before together. Pavlovic, AC Milan. He's Serbian. No, Jakubijol is Slovenian. Oh yeah, there's Lucas Perry for the first time in a Leeds shirt. I think he's had a hair transplant, you know. I can see where it's growing back in again. He came in balding, and by about halfway through the season, he'll have a full head of hair. It'll be very odd for us to see. Hi, Ruggy. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to everybody who's joining us. Of course, there's a little bit less back and forth between me and the audience in the watch-alongs, just because obviously I'm having to commentate as well. Whereas obviously those live streams that we do once a week for the transfer roundup is almost all back and forth. So yeah, don't be too worried if I don't get to your comments straight away. But yeah, look. We are heading out in our last pre-season game. I'm getting excited for the season now. Leeds heading out in the white with the little trim from the Lowfields Road tunnel. That white kit, and AC Milan, of course, playing it in their black and red famous stripes. Here come the AC Milan players, shaking hands with Leeds United players, and yeah, great stadium to be fair as well, isn't it? I don't think I've ever seen inside it before. Perry, Goodmanson, Ampadu, Strauch, Rodon, James, Piru, Stack, Tanaka, Nonto, and Schmidt. Leeds United lineup with Darlow, Cairns, Longstaff, Aronson, Mecha, Biol, Ramazani, Byram, Harrison, Gruev, Gray, and Chadwick on the bench, of course, managed by Daniel Farker. And then, of course, the AC Milan lineup: Pietro, Estupinian, Jimenez, Okafor, Chukwueze, Jashari, Pavlovic, Salah, Gabia, Musa, and Magni, with the substitutes of Ricci, Modric, Maignan, Tamori, Terriciano, Theo, Sia, Bartasaggi, Dutu, Pitarella, Kubis, and I missed the last two. But yeah, Luka Modric in an AC Milan shirt we may see today, which will be a very strange sight, seeing as though he only ever played in white kits at Tottenham and Real Madrid. So Leeds United players all running out to their positions on the pitch now. And yeah, this is going to be an interesting game. See how Leeds face up against a very good side. We did well against Villarreal, and Villarreal did well against Arsenal. So I assume you're talking to the referees at the game in Dublin, Christopher, because there's no way I can get on with it. I can't go, hurry up, to the referees and players. One thing I will do is make sure that I'm ready for the kit to press the kickoff button this time, because I almost missed that last time. Ooh, we've got a bit of camera shake there. Okay, we are just a few seconds away from kickoff here at the Aviva Stadium in Dublin. Leeds having a little huddle round before the kickoff. I'd like to see a little bit more of Stack today. Goodmanson as well, some of our new signings. I want to see some stuff from them. And, of course, Lucas Perry in goal. I'm hoping for a solid performance from Lucas Perry. Nothing spectacular, but just a solid performance. There he is, Allegri, the AC Milan manager. I'm just getting ready to press the start. Oh, we are. Yeah, we're underway here. Here's Isaac Schmidt with the ball back to Joe Rodon. Now Lucas Perry, who's going to send that one long, but up towards Nonto, who takes a good touch and gives it back to Goodmanson. Here's Goodmanson with a little touch inside, and now picked up by Ampadu and spread across to Isaac Schmidt. Schmidt out onto the right-hand side here for Dan James, who comes back, gives it to Tanaka, plays it back to Rodon. A few early little nibbles at ankles from AC Milan here. Here's Rodon. If you're new here, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button as well. We are so close now to 10,000 subscribers, which is a massive goal I've been looking forward to for a long time. Schmidt with a great ball down the line here for Dan James. Dan James in down the right here beyond Pavlovic. Pavlovic has done well to turn him round though, and Dan James is going to have to come back to Schmidt. Schmidt's just lost out there and the ball's rolling back into the box. They're going to have to deal with it here. He gives it to the goalkeeper, who kind of panic clears that one into touch. It's going to be a Leeds United throw in. Great point, Pierre. I probably need to add that to the ticker that runs along the bottom. But as we always say in these, if a goal goes in at either end in this game, do not tell me about it until I've reacted to it. Otherwise, it just ruins the game for me and I won't celebrate when we score. Here's Goodmanson. Back now to Pascal Struijk. Goodmanson again. Struijk again, and I feel like he's going to go back to Perry, and Perry can get a few more calm touches of the ball this time as he sends the ball long up towards Wilfred Gnonto, but that's going to go straight into touch. Not a great distribution there from Perry, but of course he's just taking his first few touches as a Leeds United player. There we go, we can roll the chair back a little bit here. Here's Pavlovic. Out to the left-hand side, and then gets it back again. Plays it back across the defensive line here as Peru tries to close down, but Pavlovic gets the ball back again over on the left-hand side of that back three. Good ball down the line here for Pervis Estepinian, of course, once of Brighton. Tries to poke the ball forward, but that's going to roll all the way through safely to Lucas Perry. Perry then just has the ball at his feet, asking his players around him to open up some space. Just noticed that Perry has got like a full tattoo leg sleeve, but nothing on any of his arms, and I just find that quite odd that you would start with a leg, because everybody else seems to start with an arm. A good little bit of interplay here from Leeds as Goodmanson drives forward. Actually, no, it's Stack that was driving forward there and gives the ball into Gnonto out on the left-hand side. Gnonto with the ball into the box. It's curling through everyone and bounced out to the right-hand side where Tanaka's going to try and pick it up. And he nearly manages to tackle Noah Okafor, but the ball back into Jashari. Good foot there by Schmidt, and the clearance is under pressure there from Leeds, but eventually finds its way back up to the halfway line where Joe Rodon brings the ball down. Hi, Helen. Helen Walker in the stream, member for 21 months. Thanks so much for your continued support, Helen. In a couple of months, you'll get a new badge to signify that it's been 2 years as a Leeds Lately member. So thanks very, very much for your continued support. Here is Pascal Struijk. Into Anton Stack now. Back to Pascal Struijk. Stack, and as I said in one of my tactics videos the other day about how Leeds are kind of planning to survive in the Premier League, if you've watched that video, you'll see that Stack has already started dropping in at left back just as Isaac Schmidt slips over there and AC Milan regain the ball. Tanaka doing really well to get the ball off Jashari there. So well done by Tanaka, but Leeds have given it away again. But yeah, Stack you'll find a lot of the time when Goodmanson goes high and wide and makes those attacking runs, Stack will drop in and basically play as a left back until he gets back to kind of protect his position. Out on the left hand side here, here's Estepinian. Ball tried to get in the box there from him, but it's going to be blocked by Isaac Schmidt, and it's going to be a corner kick here. Welcome to everybody who's joining us. Corner kick here from AC Milan, and let's hope that Leeds is not newfound height, but with some of them, like Anton Stack, who wins that header straight away. Yeah, that's what I want. That's literally, it's on DAZN, but only if you're not in the UK, and it's also on Premier Sports, I think. Ball out here to Okafor. Good little turn there. Goes past Tanaka, but blocked away again there by Ampadu. What I was saying there is what I do like is that Stack will win you so many headers defensively against set pieces and stuff, and he just did then. Just completely takes the pressure off. Here's Pascal Struijk. I really don't think we're far. I think people are saying about the signings that we've made and stuff, but I really don't think we're far off being a very good team. You know, I think we're underestimating how good some of the players from last season will still be for us within the Premier League. I think we are underestimating that. I think we're underestimating people like Ampadu. Great ball there forward, but it goes all the way through to the Milan goalkeeper. I think we're underestimating some of our players. Ampadu is very good in that midfield. Dan James, of course, Nonto and Ramazani, I think, are going to have big seasons. It's just we need just a few players to kind of take up that level of our attacking line, and I think we're not far off being a very decent Premier League squad. Goodmanson, who's now got the throw-in, is also a great signing. Throws it into Stack's feet. I've got a feeling that was a foul throw-in. Does very well there, Goodmanson, and now Nonto gives the ball back to Joe Rodon. Here's Struijk. Stack. Good ball by Stack out to Schmidt to switch the play a little bit, but then it drops back into Rodon and then across to Struijk. We're playing a slightly different, good ball forward from Struijk there, and Nonto's actually going to get on the end of it. Leeds might be 1-0 up here, chips it straight into the goalkeeper's gloves. He should have squared it for Pirou there. He really should have squared it for Pirou. It would have been an open goal. Very greedy from Nonto there. But you've also got to think that, yeah, he should have squared that. 100 times out of 100, he should have squared that. You've also got to think that we are now playing without a number 10. We're playing with two wingers and a forward, of which they have to be creative. I think Dan James is a player that gets on the end of things. He doesn't really create that much himself. Nonto a little bit similar, so that's why I feel like we need a different kind of winger to come in and kind of help that out. Help out in those areas. Good ball forward there, and the slip there from the AC Milan forward as he went through on goal. Jimenez it was, as he went through on goal and kind of put it over the bar. Is that the Mexican Jimenez that was at was he at Feyenoord a couple of seasons ago? Did very well. Yeah, Struijk slipped and then Jimenez slipped. It must be a very slippy surface in that part of the pitch. Here's Isaac Schmidt. Cut out by Okafor, but it is going to be a Leeds United throw-in. I worry about Isaac Schmidt. I do. Oh, that's a pull down there by the AC Milan player, but Leeds are still charging forward here. Here's Nonto out on the left-hand side. Nonto cuts back, gives an option here. Anton Stack on the edge of the box, hits the bar. Really good bit of play by Leeds. Creative in the final third. Don't call me boy or you'll get removed. Just because you are miserable doesn't mean you have to put your misery on everybody else and call them happy clappers. Just try and be happy for a little while. Great shot by Anton Stack on the edge of the box. Opened up the space and smashed it off the bar from the edge of the box. Good little bit of play from Leeds there. Creative in the final third, we might say. Here's Pavlovic. Plays the ball out wide to Estepinian. Back all the way to the defence again. Leeds just forcing them back a little bit at the moment. Here's Estepinian as he comes forward again. Tries to play it into the box. And that's going to be cleaned up there by Joe Rodon, who does very well to get away from Jashari. And he's still on the run. Joe Rodon's done fantastically well there. Dan James inside to Joel Pirou. Pirou's touch was heavy and it's gone away from him there. Estepinian gets the ball back, but Joe Rodon did so well there. Got Leeds so far up the pitch. Do you know what the biggest thing for me is with a newly promoted side, or one of the biggest things for me, is just the ability to hold on to the ball, to not give the ball away in silly areas. I think that's a massive, massive part of survival in the Premier League, because the more, obviously, it's obvious to say, but the more you give the ball away to top quality players, the more likely you are to be punished. So if you've got a team who's trying too much to play lovely football, at times it can really catch you out. So as long as you've got players like Tanaka, Stack and Ampadu in that midfield who are very, very competent at holding onto the ball and playing good passes, I think you set yourself up for success in the Premier League. And I think that's one of the reasons why we've gone for such a strong midfield with our transfer policy. And I think that might be why Longstaff has been dropped as well. That's a great ball down the line, though, and it's a bit out of position, Isaac Schmidt there, as they cut back inside, and Strauch goes to block it, and he's chipped it over the bar there, Noah Okafor. Yeah, Okafor kind of turned us inside and out there, and then just slices his shot in the end. Strauch, I think, would have been in the way of that anyway. He's Isaac Schmidt, who I will say was out of position for that, but given the job that Daniel Farke wants Leeds to do from his fullbacks, you can have that. You can have that kind of counter-attack come down the sides. So then when you do have, of course, Leeds having to come across and cover that, that's just part of the way that we're going to play, and that's the sacrifice that we're going to make to be able to attack. Here's Dan James down the right-hand side. Chance to cross it in, but there's like 6 AC Milan players back in the box and only 2 Leeds players. Here's Tanaka on the edge. Tanaka chips it across towards Nonto, and it's gone through everyone. Here's Anton Stack. Now Goodmanson. Ampadu. Tanaka. Gives that one back to Rodon. I think I almost saw a hesitation from Tanaka there to even pass the ball out to Isaac Schmidt, which is never something that you want to see. He's going to do it now. But I don't know if it was just me reading into it too much, but sometimes you do have a little bit of that kind of hesitation in your mind to pass to a certain player, and that's really never good to have in a professional team. Here's Ampadu. Justin agrees with me, saying there's desperate hesitation. I said before, grower brain rot. It's on Premier Sports and it's also on DAZN, but not in the UK. Here's Tanaka. Played across now to Ampadu. Now Schmidt. Tanaka again. Here's Anton Stack on the edge of the box. Probably could have had a shot there, but gives it back to Goodmanson, who cuts inside. Goodmanson decides better on going from his right foot and plays the ball down the line for Nonto. Goodmanson goes beyond him and tries to get in the box. Nonto with a ball across. It's going to pop out to the edge, but cleared away by Milan there. And Joe Rodon's going to have to come across and cover against Jimenez. And Schmidt, in the end, does that job for him. Stack, very good. Stack very good. He hit the bar. Perry not had too much to do, but has been solid and capable in what he has done. Hasn't really been tested. He hasn't been tested with a save yet, but has had the ball at his feet a couple of times. But yeah, Stack crashed one off the crossbar from the edge of the box. Hi, Smith Art. Welcome to the stream. Of course, another one of our Leeds Lately members. If you do want to become a Leeds Lately member, hit that join button down below. Stack was going into the box there, but the ball just bounced away from him. And here are Milan coming out again. Here's Okafor. Okafor very good with the ball at his feet there. A couple of Leeds players missed it, and then Dan James fouled him in the end. No, Justin. No, thank you. No one say anything about any goals before I have seen them. Here's Dan James coming forward here as he's won the ball. Gives it into Piru. Piru has to go back there as a bit of an awkward pass, but now Tanaka plays it out wide to Isaac Schmidt. That move could have been better if the pass was a little bit better, but listen, Kongvinter, it's more fun being delusional, as you call it, but being positive about your team. Of course, that's more fun than being negative about every situation you possibly can with your football club. That's miserable. So you could say, "Oh, I'm a realist," but no, you're a pessimist. That's the crux of it. Good ball there towards Joel Piru, but just picked off there by Pervis Estepinian. And now Pavlovic has to come across and deal with that as he's pressed by Dan James. Dan James did well there, but Pavlovic just too strong for him. I'm getting confused there. I was thinking Pavlovic was the one that played for Forest and was wondering if he transferred, but that's Milenkovic, isn't it? Back underway here again. Good ball there. 272 people in the chat down below. If you haven't already, hit that sub button. We are so close to 10k. And if you're new here, you could massively help us on that journey. We've only got 77 likes as well, so members, smash that like button, because if we get to 100 likes, we all know that's when Leeds score a goal. Leeds putting some pressure on here, and the tackle by Goodmanson has taken the ball into touch. Ball now with the AC Milan goalkeeper. The AC Milan goalkeeper is wearing a very pale grey kit, which does, from this distance at least, clash a little bit with Leeds' white kit. Ball down the line here for Estepinian. He tries to put it across the box. Perry thinks about getting a hand on it. I don't know if he actually pulled his hand away there, not wanting to push it back into the centre of the box into danger, but yeah, there's a certain level of So so there's a certain level of Schmidt's supposed to be out of position at times, supposed to be high and wide, but there's also, when you actually look at him, even when he is supposed to be back and defending, he's not great positionally, so that does give you problems. Look, Kongvinter, we'll go through this one last time, right? You're saying we need a grade A striker and a good 8 at least. So also a left winger and a right back. Unless we get a better striker than Piru, we are done. And I'm tired of you Bamfordites that think it's all okay. No one's saying that. We all agree that we need a new striker and a new winger and a new fullback. Those are the positions that we need. A new striker, a new winger and a fullback. And we all agree that. And we all think that we will struggle without those extra signings. Nobody is disputing that. So I don't know where you've got it from that it's you against the world, that you're the only one with this opinion. We all think that we need those players, but we don't spend our entire time being miserable about it. We're watching a pre-season friendly with still a couple of weeks to go of the window. Also, 65% of business transfers get done in the last few weeks of the window, in the last 2 or 3 weeks of the window. So many transfers will be happening. So many clubs will be making deals. So just chill out is the general gist of that. Anyway, back to the game. Here are Milan with the ball. Leeds set up in a little bit of a almost a 4-5-1 here defensively with the two banks. Here's Okafor going past Schmidt. Although Schmidt stood him up fairly well there and made him pass the ball to Purvis Estepinian instead. Good tackle there from Ethan Ampadu with a sliding tackle on Purvis Estepinian. Modric and Loftus-Cheek watch on from the bench. Schmidt's only getting minutes because of Bogle's injury, isn't he? So we need to bring in another fullback, whether that's Vinicius Tobias from Shakhtar or whether that's James Justin from Leicester. We definitely need to bring in some backup in that department. Here's Nonto. Ball to Joel Piroux. Ball out wide there. Ball's just... He slowed us right down there, Piroux, with a poor pass to Tanaka. Tanaka out on the left-hand side. Gives the ball back to Nonto. Dan saying Schmidt is the clear weak link here. Yeah. And I think he's someone who definitely needs time. Schmidt, time in another division to try and improve, because what he's not it for Leeds, I don't think, from what we've seen in these couple of games. So I'm kind of looking at Vinicius Tobias and James Justin as the options to be a backup to Bogle, or probably realistically to start over Bogle for the first couple of games whilst he recovers from that injury. Here's Schmidt into Ampadu. Ampadu with a ball out wide to Nonto. Nonto has to head that one back towards Strauch. Goodmanson does really well to keep hold of it there under a lot of pressure. Here's Nonto. Tanaka. Yeah. Smith Art talking about Stack, excited by Stack. Yeah, I think he looks very good. Do you know what? He just looks really, really comfortable. He just looks really, really comfortable. Yeah, Abstract Digital Recording saying he wants Chilwell. Chilwell's one of the most injury-prone players you could ever possibly see. And he's on like 300k a week. He's not on 300k a week, but he's on something ridiculous. Some sort of ridiculous Chelsea wages. There's no chance. There's no chance on this earth that we go for Chilwell. Yeah, if a goal goes in at either end in this game, do not put it in the chat until I've reacted to it. There's a free kick there Foul on Musa, and now Pavlovic has the ball. Ball all the way back to the Milan goalkeeper here. Not particularly bothered about championship scores, to be fair, anymore. That's going to be a foul there against, I don't know who it was against, Strauch in the end, maybe. He took the full brunt of Estepinian's shoulder into his sternum there. Yeah, just to come in together. Isaac Schmidt was chasing him around. Hi, William. Welcome. Yeah, just to come in together there, and it's going to be a free kick to Milan. It's weird, isn't it? Pre-season. It's weird, isn't it? Pre-season friendlies, like you have to play them because you need to get your players fit and you need to have the competitive edge to it to kind of check out your system and the way that players are fitting in and bed them in and stuff, new transfers. But then you've also got the other side of it where if someone gets injured, it's like they've got injured for nothing and you're going to be really kind of annoyed about it going into the season. So it swings and roundabouts, isn't it? You don't know whether you're going to kind of get injuries and end up ruining what you want to be for your squad for the start of the season, but then you also have to get them fit. So make sure you smash that like button, everyone. Here's Pavlovic. Good ball forward here, but it's just too overhit and it's going to go for a Leeds corner. Okafor couldn't catch it, and it's going to be a Perry goal kick. Do you know what? I actually think Noah Okafor is Swiss. Yeah, Noah Okafor's Swiss as well, so we'll know Isaac Schmidt. And he'll be absolutely rinsing him for how much he's absolutely rinsed him in the game. Here's Nonto. Good ball out here to Isaac Schmidt. Isaac Schmidt out wide here now to Dan James. Dan James with the ball into the box. It goes past everyone. Nonto is just going to be able to keep it in play, I think. He does, and he gives it back to Gabriel Goodmanson. We're playing in our white shirt, and AC Milan are playing in their black and red shirts. I think it's, as well as it being a pre-season friendly, it's also a bit of like a, not marketing, but like a kind of promotional thing as well, isn't it? The famous clubs have to kind of play in their famous kits. Ball down the line here for Okafor. Again, Schmidt having to try and catch up with the play here, but he does. Given back to Jashari. Yeah, look, I would say again, like when we talked about the Villarreal game, having watched now like half an hour of this, I do think that we are very evenly matched. Header cleared away by Leeds, again away by Rodon. Now Piru heads it back to Stack. Stack does very well there and eventually drops it off with Perry, who clears it up to the halfway line. Dan James nearly won that off Estepinian then, but Estepinian in the end did well. It's a bit of a mix, Pierre. There are some players that are on the bench that are first teamers, and there are some players in the starting lineup that are first teamers, like Noah Okafor, who is very good, by the way, from what we've seen of him so far. We're nearly at 100 likes. 98 likes, yeah. 2 more people hit that like button, and we'll be scoring our first goal. We all know that's how it works. 100 likes, that equals a goal. Oh, I tell you what, that was a fantastic tackle from Stack, but it's been given as a free kick on the replay. I don't know why. I don't know how you can't... I know it's preseason friendly. You can't always judge it by that, but so far, if this was the league, we'd have picked up a point against Villarreal, so a Champions League team. We'd have picked up a point against Scum, obviously another relegation rival. It's 1-0 to AC Milan. Jimenez at the back post. But there's genuinely been positives to take. This is a Champions League regular side. We should have been 1-0 up by now, though. We should have been 1-0 up. That Nonto, so as he cuts across the box, the overlap, it's just a tiny little touch from Jashari, I think it is, in the box there. And it just redirects it to the back post for Jimenez, and there's no one close enough to stop him. We should have been following him in at the back post there. Goodmanson's gone central, and Strauch's not close enough to Jimenez to stop the shot. The players need to be tighter to their opposition. It's not a horrendous mistake, but they need to be tighter to their opposition. Nonso should have squared the ball to Piru, and it would have been 1-0 to Leeds before, but he got greedy. Here's Strauch. Now Goodmanson with the ball down the line to Nonto. I feel like Nonto might have come back from an offside position there, but apparently not. Here's Goodmanson. Yeah, I was going to say AC Milan players were all over him there. Jimenez has just stopped Nonto taking the free kick quickly as well, which would usually be a yellow card. Yeah, it's Chukwueze was all over Goodmanson then. Here's Stack. Now Ampadu. Strauch. Here's Rodon. Now Strauch. Goodmanson. Tanaka. Ooh, ball taken away from Dan James there, but then he gets a foot in, and it's going to stay in play here. Again, they're coming down that right-hand side, but Tanaka does really well to take the ball away from Milan there. But then Tanaka's lost it, which doesn't happen very often. It's a free kick to AC Milan there. The tide's starting to turn a little bit. Free kick then to come into the box from AC Milan. Comes in towards the back post, headed away by Joe Rodon. It's just going to be too quick there, the ball for Goodmanson to get and take under his control. So it's going to be a throw-in by the corner flag for Milan. What I will say about the way that we kind of have it at the moment, when we do bring in another striker and another winger, it means some of these players that are starting the game can be kind of a bit more of like a game changer off the bench. Perry just claimed that cross very well. Can be a little bit more impactful from the bench, whereas we're kind of starting with all of our best players, and we don't really have people who can change the game on the bench. Maybe Ramazani's the type of player who's a bit explosive and could change things. There was a ball over the top there for Joel Peru, couldn't quite get there, and the goalkeeper picked it up. I would like to see a little bit of Mecha in this game as well, though, which I imagine we will do a little bit later on, see what he can do to change things, because Peru's not having much joy at the moment. The thing is, they've got 3 at the back in this game, and Leeds are obviously going to struggle to create against that. Here's Schmidt over on the right-hand side. Leeds potentially had a better pass forward then, but didn't take it. Perry hasn't had much to do, to be honest. He caught a ball and he's kicked the ball long a couple of times. That's literally it, so it's hard to tell, really, on that front from him so far. Here's Stack. Now Strauk. Rodon. Piru, who's dropped a bit deep here. Played the ball into Stack, who just flicks it around the corner towards Nonto. Nonto on the edge of the box. He's going to have to go backwards. Forced back there by, I think, Musa. Here's Schmidt. Now Stack. Back out wide to Dan James. Tanaka here. Leeds trying to break down the defence here of Milan, and it is a little bit reminiscent of last season. Ball down the line to Goodmanson. Back to Nonto again. Goodmanson with a fantastic ball to Nonto. Nonto tries to square it across. Hits a Milan player. And it's going to be a Leeds corner kick. It's a really good pass from Goodmanson. He just, outside of the foot, flicks it between two Milan players. Really good ball from him. Anton Stack then is going to be the one to take this corner, which does perplex me a little bit because he's the type of person you want to be on the end of corners. But I think he does have a good bit of delivery. Ball into the box. Goalkeeper punches away. Not a convincing punch, I must say. And Tanaka can't get there first because it's actually Okafor who's now played it forward towards Jimenez. Jimenez plays it out wide now to the former Villarreal player, Chukwueze. Goes down the line here, Chukwueze up against Nonto. Nonto makes a good tackle on him. It is going to go out for an AC Milan throw-in, but Nonto coming back and making those tackles is exactly what you want to see from him. Here's Musa. Ball into the box here, but headed away by Schmidt. Here's Jashari. Back to Pervis Estepinian. Now Jashari again. Estepinian. Pavlovic. Pavlovic gets it back again. Just playing the ball around at the back at the moment, Milan, just inside the Leeds half. Here's Chukwueze coming inside now. He's got plenty of space to run at, and that's a very good ball out to that side. But Schmidt does well to deal with that. What are you doing, Schmidt? Schmidt could have just left that for a goal kick, and he's made it into a corner. Not sure on the El Canu situation, Jay Lee. Not 100% sure on that. I want to see that one get done. I imagine it might get done a few days after this. That's what I'm hoping for. Because I feel like that's the forward passing that he has is that he's going to really help us out with the creative side of things. Anyway, Milan with the corner here. Chukwueze stands over it. Corner comes into the box. Headed over the bar there by Jimenez. I think Perry would have had that covered anyway. $130 likes. Would you a goal? Hey, 129 likes. That's fantastic. Good winner there by Stack. He's left their player in a heap there. Now Tanaka wins the ball, and then they've actually stopped the play for a head injury for one of the Milan players. Not sure who it is. Salah it is, the youngster, I think. Oh, Anton Stack just won the header and bodied him. Like, he didn't go anywhere near his head. Yeah, he's just not strong enough there, Salah. That's not anything to do with Stack's challenge. Stack's challenge is perfectly fine. Here's Goodmanson. Now Stack across the road on. Now Strauk. Goodmanson again. You've got to say as well, we've already spent way more than Daniel Farke was ever allowed to spend with Norwich. In probably any of his seasons. I think he had 2 or 3 seasons in the Premier League with Norwich. And I think we've already spent more than he would have ever spent with them. Schmidt's been absolutely done there by Okafor. But Okafor couldn't keep it in. I would still say it's mostly been a quite even game. Maybe Milan now, because of the second period of this first half, have kind of started to dominate a little bit more, but it hasn't been massively outweighed. And Leeds should have been 1-0 up, remember. His Stack. Tanaka wins the ball back. Oh, you should have carried on running with it. Strauk into Nonto. Oh, Nonto, check your shoulder. And now Chukwueze's off down the right-hand side. No, I don't think Schmidt's been very good. Oh, Chukwueze's done Tanaka there. Chukwueze in the bot. Actually, no, it's not Chukwueze. The commentator, Bryn Law's thrown me off there. That was actually Musa. And it's going to be a corner kick to AC Milan. Do you know what would be nice? A counter-attack goal off a corner here. Yeah, Tanaka came sliding in and completely missed the ball from Musa. And then Ampadu stops his cross and it goes out for a corner. Well, we're 42 minutes in and it's only 1-0, so... Poor ball there from Chukwueze, but Piru does really well defensively and he's going to get the ball down the line here to Nonto. Nonto can play in Dan James, which he almost can. Oh, the keeper was alive to it and he's just played it into touch there. It's actually going to stay in here and James can carry on playing, but a little bit of a better pass from Nonto and James was in. Hi Chewy, welcome to the stream. Chewy has arrived. Here's Strauk. Now Stack. Now Rodon. Across to Ampadu. Ampadu drops off and and receives the ball again. Just know, David, you've had to subscribe to the channel to say that, so enjoy yourself. Here's Goodmanson. Ball into the box. Oh, just taken away from them there. Good bit of defending. Here's Musa. Jamie, could you try and write that again, but make it make sense? Because I don't really know what that means. And actually, do you know what? I know that you're just trolling then, Jamie. And I don't understand. If you're a Leeds fan, I don't know why you would enjoy trolling other Leeds fans. It's very weird. Ball into the box there from Goodmanson, it goes over everyone, because you can't see 44 minutes of a goalkeeper who hasn't even had to make a save other than one which he couldn't do anything about, and how you can write him off. That's mental. So yeah, I'm sorry, but that's just a joke. Leeds nearly scored then. Piru had a shot from the edge of the box. The goalkeeper saved it, nearly parried it straight to Tanaka, but he got an extra little touch on it to push it out for a corner. Good bit of goalkeeping, to be fair, just to keep it away from Tanaka. Have they been showing a replay that entire time so we didn't even get to see the corner? Great. Nonto tries to win that one back, but a sliding challenge there from Salah, I think it was, wins it back for them. Just head that one back to the goalkeeper, Schmidt, and he does. Well, that's the halftime whistle. I'll be back in not very long at all, and we'll discuss everything that you're putting in the chat. I'll answer Daz Payne's chat first, just before I go, and I'll be 2 or 3 minutes, and we'll be back and we can discuss that first half and generally what's been going on with Leeds. Let me just stop that. Let's set it to the second half, and then we just need to reset it. But in the meantime, Daz Payne saying, afternoon, dude, new to your channel. Thanks, Daz. You're helping us get to 10k. We're nearly there. Leeds are unlucky to be behind, in my opinion. What are your thoughts? I totally agree with you. I think that we could have been in the lead in that first half. Let me just check that's right. Yeah, 45 minutes. We really could have been 1-0 up. That Nonto chance, if he'd have just squared it to Joel Pirou, we'd have been 1-0 up. And then, of course, it would have been 1-1 at halftime, which is fine. I think in general, we've held our own. We deserve to kind of be drawing 1-1 at the moment, is my assessment of that first half. I think Stack's been our best player, probably. Nonto's had a good effect down the left-hand side. Schmidt, again, positioning, not great. That's kind of my summary. But we'll come back in a minute. If anybody wants their questions answered after halftime, either become a member, or you can leave a super chat below, or I will get round to them anyway. But I will be back very shortly. It won't be too long. I'm just going to take a short break, and I'll be back again to talk about that, and then we'll go on to the second half. So let me just press that. Be back soon. Hello. Thou is back. So, what did I miss? Das Payne saying, looking at Stack, he's an amazing signing. We miss Bogle, and Nemecha needs to play as he will hold up play. But having said that, we've all played well. Yeah, other than maybe Isaac Schmidt, who needs a little bit of... well, he just needs to not be in the squad, really. Hold on. Oh, that's why we've not got focus, because the water bottle was drawing it. So... I would like to see a bit of Mecha, see what he can do, because Peru hasn't really had too much of an effect on this game. Which doesn't mean to say he's been terrible. But yeah. Let's see what else we've had. Kind of a rejigging between Biol and Strauch works if Schmidt comes off. To make a back three, do you mean? There's a potential for that, but I think it's more likely that Sam Byram would come on for Isaac Schmidt. That's my line of thinking, really. I think that's what Farke's more likely to just bring on a straight swap for Byram. Because I think he'll want to play a back four in the Premier League, so therefore he's kind of wanting to do it in this game as well. I think it'll probably be a straight swap for Byram. Stick saying Leeds look good for the most part when you add more quality on the left wing and up front. Yeah, we do, but I also do think that Nonto was pretty decent in that first half. He's just not quite creative enough. But the thing is, I think Ramazani is. I think Ramazani is the type of player who does something in a game like this. But that's not to say that we shouldn't sign anyone. We still do need to sign a striker and a winger. Because imagine having these players as your backups. Then you're in a very strong position if a lot of these players become the backups that you have. So that's the way I see it, really. John B saying once Max has accrued 10k followers, he will have attained legendary status. Yes, I will be up there with the Jers, the Joes, the KGs, the Ollie Wards, the Lewises, the Connors of the world. We are currently on 9,820. Hold on a second. Just 1 second. I just need to verify that I am who I say I am with my YouTube channel. Because sometimes it asks me. We're on 9,830 subscribers. So we only need 170 subscribers. But we've got to get 170 subscribers in... before the 18th, before Monday the 18th. So essentially we've got just over a week to get 170 subscribers. Do you think we can do it? I'm really hoping we can. That would be great to start the season with 10k, because then we might be at like 15k by the end of the season. That would be amazing. I'm hoping to... the next person after me that I'm trying to catch up is KG, and I think he's on, let me see, I think he's called KG1v1 or something, isn't he? Oh, his actual channels. He's got 12.4k. Depending on how things go, I might actually be able to catch him. And then it's on to Ollie Ward. who's got 20k, so that's a big one. Thanks, Justin. I know, 170 subs off 10k. It's mad, really. Just never would have thought of it when I first started. Stick saying Nonto is still a few years away from being a world-class player. He's come far from the 22-23 season, but still some time to go. Yeah, and I hope that he gets that kind of time to do that this season off the bench, giving him like moments in games. But then where does that leave Ramazani? Because I'd like to see Ramazani given that same opportunity, because Ramazani, I feel, has probably got a higher ceiling than Nonto. The way that he plays is just so much more explosive. Yeah, I think there's a website that ranks things like Leeds YouTubers. I would have been 4th for views last month. Let me have a look. I think I had to tweet him because I wasn't on the list. Let me have a look. Yeah, on the list of... I'm 10th on the list of dedicated Leeds United YouTube fan channels. But I think I'm not going to count LS11 Leeds United Media. Because when you actually look at them, when we search this, LS11 Leeds United Media hasn't... Oh, no. Sorry. No, that's wrong. Never mind. I thought it was the one where they just upload, like, videos from other people's stuff. But this guy hasn't uploaded in a year, and he's got 11.1k subscribers. Stats used to go on his channel and stuff as well. So I don't know much about this guy. He's obviously not been active for over a year. So I might be able to catch him pretty soon as well and go up to 9th. And then it's KG, and then it's Ollie, and then all Leeds TV are on 32,000. But sometimes I think that I don't compare myself to the Square Ball or Leeds TV or anything like that, because they're a collaborative. They are a collection of people, whereas it's just me on my own. So I can't really be compared to a whole group of people, really. So that's why I don't really compare to them. Yeah, I didn't even know about LS11, but yeah, he just seems to have given up. So, well, the thing is, John, I parrot back to you what his tactics are, essentially, and I kind of say this is what he's trying to do, and the way I understand it is a lot simpler of a form than where he understands it. Whereas he's like properly hit every single position on the pitch with the ball. Whoever's got the ball, the other players know when they need to be, and he'll have specific instructions for every player. I don't know it in that much detail. So what I report back to you of his tactics is massively simplified to what he'll actually do. He is a tactical manager. He has a great tactical understanding of the game. Otherwise, he wouldn't be in the position he's in. But yeah, I just think that sometimes it's hard to see that because you never actually see them saying it. Milan are making a substitution. Kubi is coming on. All these TVs like 17 people. Yeah, exactly. It's an organisation, isn't it? It's loads of people together, so I can't really compare me as one person to them. So as it stands, we'll have no centre-back on the subs bench next Monday. Nice. Ampadu can go and play in the centre-back, can't he? I suppose. But yeah, he might be starting. Beale will be starting over Strauch, I believe. But not in the Everton game because he's suspended. So that's why Strauch's now playing in this game. But yeah. Darlow, see, I would have liked to see more from Perry. Darlow's coming on. Darlow starting the second half. I wanted to see a bit more from Perry. Yes, yeah. Actually, that's a great point, Chewy. Stack has played a lot of games at centre back. He's a well established centre half. We've made a substitution, and Darlow is in goal. Just so you know. Also, by the way, if you do want to, we are just about to kick off again, but if you do want to get any of the Leeds United kits, we're underway here. If you do want to get any of the Leeds United kits, use the link in the description down below. If you use that link, I will get an affiliate kickback from the sale, a small amount, which is just a great way for you to support the Leeds Lately YouTube channel. Buying something that you are maybe already going to buy yourself, any of the kits, any of the Leeds United merch, as long as you use my link. Don't click on any I think it's honey.com and those little things that give you voucher codes. Don't click them to apply at store, because they take it away from the YouTuber. It then becomes their affiliate link, which is really scummy of them, and there was a big scandal of it. But yeah, if you use my link down below, I'll get a small kickback from it, essentially. So Musa has come off for AC Milan, and Kubi has come on for them. Or Kubish. I'm not sure how to say that name. Anyway, here's Joe Rodon. Joe Rodon charging forward into midfield here. Finds a ball doesn't find the pass to Stack, but Leeds retain possession anyway. And here's Goodmanson out on the left-hand side. Schmidt here. Can he spread the ball one more time outside to Dan James? And he does. Dan James doing very well there. Still going here, Dan James, and eventually fouled there, and it's going to be a Leeds United free kick. Yeah, Dan James cuts inside there. And Pervis Estepinian's just all over him from the back. Anton Stack seems to be the one taking this free kick. I imagine he's not going to shoot. It's not a great shooting position, especially for a right footer. Rodon can't touch that because it's going to be offside, but it's going to be another corner as the Leeds. Do you know what, though, Kong? You invalidate every other kind of opinion that you have. Oh, sorry, not CB lol. Because what qualifies you to say that we should play 4-4-2? Like, what makes you think that? If we have two in midfield, we'll get overrun by midfielders with teams with three midfielders. So you're just like making things up just because that's what they used to play back in your day. Which direction are we playing? Towards the AC Milan goal. No, we're playing from left to right this half. Leeds have had a couple of corners, but nothing came from them. But now we do have the ball. No, I know Kong Vinter, but nobody plays 4-4-2 anymore because you get overrun in midfield if you only have two midfielders. So you're just exposing your own ball knowledge. Cleared away by Rodon there from that cross in. Hi, Jeff. Here's Pavlovic. Now Salah. Or is it I think it's Jashari, actually. Long ball forward out to the left-hand side. Estepinian was about to cross that into the box, but he was given offside there, so it's going to be a Leeds free kick. I'd like to see some Mecha, some Ramazani in this game. I think 1-0 to AC Milan is... a little bit, just a little bit flattering for them because we should have scored. Nonto should have squared the ball to Piru. It would have been an open goal and we would have been 1-0 up way before they even scored. So I think it's been a very even game. Here's Schmidt. Strauk, Ampadu. That's why we're trying to sign a winger and a striker, though, to be fair, Clive. Here's Dan James trying to get in behind Pavlovic. Pavlovic is going to end up putting that out for a Leeds throw-in. Stack's been very good, Jeff. Yeah, oh yes, I forgot about that, Justin. Stack hit the bar as well. And Piru's shot from the edge of the box that the goalkeeper nearly palmed to Tanaka. So other than their goal, I'd say we might have had the better of the chances. Here's Piru. Piru does really well with his footwork there and gets the ball to Tanaka. And now the AC Milan player's gone down even though he was trying to foul Piru. Jimenez. I don't know what he's done. He must have hurt his knee stretching for that ball. I think he's hurt his calf or something. Oh no, Piru stood on him. So it's an impact. Do you know what? That annoys me. I get it. I get it as a stop the play if someone's had a serious muscle injury or something and they're down. But Piru stood on him, so therefore it just hurts a bit and it's an impact injury. So, like, just continue with the play. Also, you're giving him too much credit, Andrew. 4-4-2 not as a formation but as defensive shape. He's saying about having two strikers. I said before that we were dropping into a 4-5-1 when we didn't have the ball. So therefore that is a good defensive shape of two banks of four, or a bank of four and a bank of five with just one striker up top. We are doing that, but that's not what he meant. Jimenez waiting to come back onto the pitch. No, this is what I talked about in the how Farke's going to set Leeds up this season, though. It's basically we're going to be very difficult to get through the middle of because of our strong midfield and our strong centre-backs. But that's going to allow us then to have the base to build off, to have our fullbacks go high and wide like they did last season. So we're still going to have that attacking threat from the fullbacks, just as Goodmanson demonstrates there as he's in the final third trying to cross balls into the box. But Clive, they have been tight draws against Man United, against Villarreal, and this has been a tight game against AC Milan. So when you think about the opposition that we've been playing against in those games, they've been like Champions League, Europa level opposition, which you'd be delighted to get a draw with in the Premier League. So the games that we played against lesser opposition in Germany, we smashed them. Well, we smashed one of them and we still scored like 3 goals against the other one. Nobody's saying that 4-4-2 is impossible to play now. It's just a complete pointless... It's a complete pointless argument to make saying what we should play when Daniel Farke's never going to change his mind just because you said that. And also you're saying if we had 2 strikers, we do have 2 strikers. Mecha and Piru. But that's what I get. That's what I don't get, Kong Vinter. If you don't like what I have to say and you don't agree with me and you don't like the way I do things, why are you here? You don't have to be. No one's making you. I'm sure Joe's live. Or JT. I'm sure there's another Leeds watch along where they'll tell you not to be so negative as well. Schmidt did play a good ball into the box there, and Nonto nearly got on the end of it. But again, look, it's distracting me from the game. I'm not replying to negative crap anymore. I'm just going to commentate on the game because it makes me feel miserable when I'm just trying to enjoy myself watching a pre-season friendly that doesn't matter. Pete's asking, have we been any good? Oh. I think we've been decent. I think it's been a fairly evenly matched game. Joe Rodon tracking back there. It's on DAZN if you're not in the UK, BGMI, and it's on Premier Sports. Now stop asking. Here's Pavlovic. It's only on LU TV if you're not in the UK, though. Which I just never understood. Never understood that. Oh, it's because the 3 p.m. blackout, because teams are playing at 3 p.m. now because the EFL started. Okafor with the ball to the back post. Can't keep it in there. And it's going to be a Leeds United goal kick. It was a good cross there from Okafor, but yeah, it was just ahead of the winger on the opposite side. I do think that you get overrun in the midfield with the 4-2-3-1. That's why we're playing a 4-3-3. Here's Piru. Goes to shoot, just wide. It's going to be a corner, though. I would like to have seen more of Perry in this game. Yeah, it's going to be another corner to Leeds here, I think. Pete saying, "What do you think we're missing in terms of positions or players?" It's a striker, it's a left winger, it's another full back. We need another right back because Schmidt's not good enough and Bogle's injured. Here is Schmidt. Gives the ball back to Rodon there. I did explain Kong Vinter. And do you know what? I've got a whole video explaining Daniel Farke's tactics for this season and why he's doing what he's doing. So just go and watch that. I don't know about Perry whether he's still not 100%, but there must be a reason why he only wants to play in 45 minutes. Ball across the box, headed away by Rodon. Stack probably could have won that, but he's decided not to. Now Stack has one lead to throw in there. He's absolutely barged his way through the player there. I think we're going to love Stack this season, by the way. I think we're really going to love Stack. When do I think Farke will do the subs? Yeah, I think it's a preseason friendly, so he might do them a little bit earlier. But Stack is absolutely throwing his weight around, and not in a way where he's fouling people either, or in a way where he's fairly winning the ball, but just absolutely bodying people. And I think we're all going to very much like Stack this season. He's a very Leeds player. Throw in there. Ball bounces through to Schmidt, who clears it away. Yeah, we're not far off the season starting. We're not far off 10k as well. What are we on now? 9,834. 166 subs. Marching On Together starts to ring around the Aviva Stadium. Yeah, he hit the bar before, Stack, as well. And that's one of the things that he likes doing is shooting from the edge of the box. So hopefully we'll see a little bit of that from him this season. It's a foul against Joe Rodon there, and it's going to be a free kick to Leeds. Just over on the right-hand side. Yeah, just a bit of a trip there from Jimenez. Here's... Oh, good ball into Nonto. Nonto tries to square it across, but apparently Nonto was offside anyway, so it's going to be a free kick to Milan. It looks like Aronson, Metcher, and a couple of other players like Byram, I think, are warming up for Leeds. He's onside. Nonto was onside. It wasn't a great pass back across because nobody was alive. Well, actually, it was, but nobody was alive to it. Substitution for AC Milan then. A couple of them. Sia is coming on. Hopefully he doesn't swing from the chandelier. For Jashari. And there is another one as well coming on as well. Eletu as well is coming on. Jimenez is coming off for Sia as well. I want to see a bit of Metcher as well. We need a little bit of hold-up play in this game, I think, is what we need. $316 watching for a friendly, not bad. Yeah, I'm hoping we get some big numbers in the Premier League. I'm hoping it's I'm hoping it's quite popular in that when we go back up to the... Well, we already are back up to the Prem, but when we start the season, especially games that aren't on TV, they're the ones that people seem to come to the watch-along for more. Forecast score, Leeds versus Everton. Hard to say at the moment. I think we win 2-1. Wouldn't that be amazing to win on the opening day? Then you only need 8 or 9 more wins to survive. Yeah, that's the thing as well. I might pick some... Oh, good ball into the box. It's bouncing around and cleared away by Milan, but Leeds close there to scoring. Here's Ampadu. Back into Tanaka. Now, Tanaka again. I was going to say I might pick from the members. If anybody wants to, I'll put a post out, members only post, and you can, if you want to, you can volunteer on that post to be a mod, and then at least we can have a little bit of decorum in some of the chats. I might write a little list of rules, and kind of if they break those rules, that's when they get banned, sort of thing, or at least muted. So, I'd rather mute them than remove them from the channel. No, Daz, I wouldn't like him at Leeds, and the reason is that he's comparable to Peru in terms of stats in the Championship over the last couple of years, and we need better than Peru, not similar. His Stack with the ball into the box. Not a good one, though, and it's headed away. Picked up by Isaac Schmidt. Schmidt still going here, and then eventually... Oh, he manages to tackle. He's done well there, Schmidt. Here's Strauk. Oh, good ball into Peru. Peru shoots just past the post. Not bad effort from Peru. Just had to turn and take a snapshot then. Goodmanson got the ball into his feet, I think. Just on the edge. Yeah, just kind of slices it a little bit wide there, Peru. Also, can we just say, what are we talking about in terms of Leeds struggling last season in terms of scoring goals when we scored the most goals in the entire division? What are we on about then? Because we scored the most goals in the division and conceded the second least, and our concession rate was a championship record. Would have been a championship record if not for Burnley's that same season. Hi, Sijal. Welcome to the stream, mate. Welcome back, Sujal, one of our Leeds Lately members, of course. There's nothing wrong with Darlow as backup either. No, I think Darlow's good as backup. I'm happy with him as a second choice goalkeeper. Nonto. Back to Rodon. Schmidt. I don't want to see this game end 1-0. I want to see us score a goal. Hey, Penny Lane, thank you so much for the €10 super sticker. I really, really appreciate that. Thanks for all your continued support as you're always here during these watch-alongs. So thanks so much for the super sticker. I really appreciate that. Make sure everybody likes Penny's super sticker as well. I would spin around like that on the chair, but I can't because I will hit a desk and a green screen and everything will fall over and everything will go wrong. But thank you so much, Penny, for the super chat, super sticker. Leeds are making 4 substitutions now. So let me just change the lineup. So Aronson comes on for Dan James. Peru off for Mecha. I think Tanaka is coming off as well for Longstaff. Ampadu is coming off for Gruev. I think that's it for now. Oh, and Schmidt has come on for... Sorry, Schmidt has come off for Byram coming on as well. Ball corner taken quickly, taken to the edge of the box. Here's Ilya Gruev's first few touches here. Plays it back out wide again. Chance for Anton Stack to shoot. Oh, what a goal! Anton Stack has banged one in from the edge of the box. Have that, all the negative Nellies in the chat. What a goal that is. Great finish. What a great finish from Anton Stack. Curls it in from the corner of the box. So the ball came out of the corner. Gruev played it back to Stack, who'd taken the corner. He came to the edge of the box and he just curled it in the bottom corner from the edge of the box. It's a fantastic finish. And thank you so much, Lord Shiogarath, for the $4.99 super chat, saying Leeds will be fine this season. Get over it, you trolls and haters. And I absolutely agree. Thank you so much, Lord Shiogarath, for the super chat. Everyone, make sure you go ahead and like that super chat as well. People have already liked it. It's got 7 likes on it. Get as many likes on it as possible. Thank you so much, Lord Shiogarath, for that. What a finish by Anton Stack. Now we are 1-1 with AC Milan. Game on. Here's Pavlovic. Plays it back across. What a finish that was, by the way. Really good finish. Curls it in the bottom corner from the edge of the box. Who said we couldn't score? Who said the midfielders we bought weren't creative enough? Bang. Here's Estepinian. Aronson trying to force them back. And I also do think, by the way, that Aronson battling there against Estepinian. I do think that bringing on these fresh legs and stuff will do as well. And I think that Gruev is still an underrated player for Leeds. I think Gruev's a very good midfielder and will do decent in the Premier League. He'll be solid. I need to turn around this bit so the illusion of me being cut off at the side isn't there. Leeds for 55 years. I've seen more trolls than the 3 Billy Goes Gruff, says Lord Shiogarath. Well, I enjoyed that. So here's Darlow then with a free kick. Here's Rodon out wide to Byram. Byram carries the ball down the line a little bit. Yes, Gruev is also good at delivering set pieces. You're right, Daz Payne, and pretty decent at shots as well from free kicks and stuff. So, yeah, I'm must say having Gruev on the pitch is never a bad thing for me. He does that similar job to Stack in terms of dropping into the defence when he needs to. Here's Nonto with the ball inside to Longstaff, who gets some of his first touches of the game. Rodon. Out wide to Byram. Down the line to Aronson. Aronson tackled by Pavlovic, but Aronson's still battling, and Aronson wins the ball back. Here's Byram. Byram fouled there by Pavlovic. A little bit of pressure now from Leeds. Thank you so much, Robert Wetzel, for the super chat. What a goal to kick off the live stream, says Robert. Yeah, for the first. To be fair, we did one for the Villarreal game, but that's a fantastic goal to kind of go into the season with a bit of confidence for. Really, really good goal. So thanks so much for the super chat, Robert. Make sure as well, guys, you go ahead and like Robert's super chat, and of course as well. Ball into the box there, and their goalkeeper catches it. Thank you so much for from Mick Crocodile Dundee for becoming a YouTube member as well. Being a Leeds Lately legend allows you to get videos early. It allows you priority access to replies and comments, and it helps to support the channel. And it really, really means the world to me when people become members and be part of the community, and of course leave the super chats as well. So thank you so much to those of you leaving super chats and joining the membership program. It really, really helps me out. Daz saying the subs. Do you think we look like we have more energy? Yeah, I think certainly with people like Aronson and Longstaff coming on, they're the type of players who will run all day for you. So they kind of put a bit of fear into the opposition when you're thinking like the game slowed down to a certain pace and everyone's kind of in the groove of it. You bring Aronson and Longstaff on, they will run at people all day long, and it makes them go, okay, we're going to have to actually buck our ideas up a little bit here. But yeah, of course, it's not the AC Milan of old. It's nowhere near the AC Milan of old. Their teams were ridiculous back in the day. But it's still AC Milan. They still have really good players and a really good manager. Here's Gruev, Longstaff. Now, Pascal Struijk. Do you know what? I would like to see Jacobillo come on. A, for his fitness and his... I think, do you know what? 407 people in the live chat might be the most we've ever had. So that's amazing. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. But what I will say is I think that I'd like to see Jacobillo come on for a little bit just to ensure that Struijk or Rodon don't get injured for that first game. I think just giving them a little bit of a break and getting Bijol some game time would be very good for us. Potentially bringing off Stack at some point as well, because I don't want him to get injured. Thanks so much to Daz Payne 765 for the super chat. We will have a good season. Buckle up, people. Yeah, everybody liked the super chats as well. Yeah, I hope so. I really hope so. And I think we will, you know. I think if we can get that striker in, that left winger in, and a right back, we are set then, I think, to have a good season. We really are. We've had 300 before, I think, Chazza. But, yeah, I do think that we are... I do think we're in for an entertaining season, at least, Daz. Thanks so much for the super chat. Webs fan 1, thank you so much for becoming a subscriber. New here, I was negative at the beginning of last season and made to eat humble pie, which I enjoyed, actually. I'm saying nothing this time, but hoping for the best. Exactly. Even if you do have some nervous feelings about the season, you're still kind of going, do you know what? I'll just wait and see. And that's all we want, really. Nonso just took a shot, dragged wide of the post there. It wasn't great. But yeah, that's all we want to see. But thanks so much for subscribing, Webs fan. We're nearly at 10k now. 1 second before I answer any more questions. What's a good season? 17th, Clive. Just staying up. As long as we stay up, that's fine. It looks like Jacobillo is going to be coming on, just like I said, for Pascal Struijk. So that is Bijol to come on for Struijk. We are also bringing on Ramazani, which I imagine will be for Nonto. Nonto, so Ramazani. And you know what? Harrison's coming on. Harrison's getting some boos, but Harrison's actually coming on at left back. Harrison's coming on at left back for Goodmanson. And he's getting some boos, let me tell you that. He's getting some boos in the stadium. Anyway, here's Pavlovic. There's someone in the Creator Cup FPL league that's called the Be All and End All. Here is the closest we've had is Trezor Kandol to end all. Here's Stack, who again wins the ball back. He's going to have to try and keep that one in. He's so strong. Here's Harrison, who gets fouled. Yeah, and it's going to be a free kick to Leeds. I want to see Ramazani score a goal. You know, I think he's got it in him to. I think he's got it in him to just take it past someone and put it in the bottom corner. You know. Here is Harrison, Gruev, Beale, across to Byram. Now Longstaff. Longstaff holding onto the ball and gives it back to Byram, who gives it all the way back to Carl Darlow. Spreads that one out wide to Jack Harrison, who's got a bit of space to run into here. How weird is that? Seeing Jack Harrison in a Leeds shirt is very odd. Here's Ramazani. Gives the ball into the box for Metcher, and he can't quite get onto it. They wanted a different option there. No, it's a very even game, to be honest. It's a very even game, but yeah, he just puts too much on it. Ramazani there for Metcher. I know what you're saying, Justin, but then if there's no kind of repercussions at all, the only thing that Leeds fans can do to... Oh, the good ball into the bar. Not quite good enough from Longstaff there. The only thing Leeds fans can do to express their disappointment and anger towards Jack Harrison jumping ship is use their voice to boo him. They can't do it. They can't get him sacked. They can't make Leeds sell him. They can't do anything like that. The only thing people can do is like vote with their feet, but just say, boo, I don't want you to play. In the season, you don't want to negatively affect a player that is actually playing for your team, do you? So I understand not wanting to boo players for that reason, because if Jack Harrison runs down the wing against Everton, crosses the ball into the box from left back, and someone heads it in the top corner, then people are going to be very happy about it, aren't they? Because we need to score goals and we need to stay up. So I think once if he's playing for us in the Premier League, then I'm going, okay, yeah, don't boo him, because we need him to do as well as he can, and we don't want to actually put him off. But yeah, the only thing that we can do is in pre-season is kind of give him that audible discontent with what he's done. Leeds have definitely dominated more in this second half. I think Milan started to sit back a little bit. And I must say, it's very strange seeing Leeds play against AC Milan. Hopefully this will be a Europa League fixture in a few years' time. Here's Rodon. Now Gruev. Do you know what? I'm just going to write a text to myself, because I'm going to make that comment that I just said about Jack Harrison. I'm going to put 78th minute Harrison short. I'm going to make it into a YouTube short because obviously I need to post those because it helps get the channel out there to more people. So it'll give me an idea of where to find it in the stream. Otherwise, I'll be combing through the whole thing. Nice one, Chewy. Still got the book of dad jokes. Ball comes to the edge of the box here. Ramazani plays it back out to Jack Harrison. Out wide again to Stack. Now Harrison. Harrison crosses the ball. Oh, terrible cross from Harrison. Really bad. That's going to be a Leeds United throw-in out on the left-hand side. 10 minutes to go here. Here's Ramazani. Now Rodon. I think it's with us getting more. I think it's with us getting more subscribers. CB. I think that's just what happens when you get bigger. You start to get more trolls. He's Longstaff, but we know who our core audience is. We don't forget that. Here's Gruev. I know what you're saying, Chewy, but you're a core viewer, so they're not necessarily targeted at you because a lot of them are clips from videos you'll have already watched. The reason for my YouTube Shorts and my TikToks is, A, if it's like a bit of information that's not worth a full video, I put it on there, short form content, easy to digest. People can just give it a quick watch, but they're making Substitutions Milan at the moment, so I'm not missing the game. It's short form content, easy to digest, easy to try to kind of get your point across in there. And then a lot of them also are for videos you might have already seen to try and promote the video to get more people to discover the channel. It's a different audience. Some people only really watch YouTube Shorts and then they'll find my channel through that and then they'll go, oh, I actually want to watch this guy's content. And that's the idea, to try to get more people to see the channel, and it has been working. That's like why I've gained bloody half a thousand in the last 28 days or so, is because I've been doing shorts and live streams and videos. So that's kind of what I've been doing. Anyway, Lord Shiogarath saying, I might try. Thank you so much for the super chat, by the way. I might try for the Creators Cup next year. I've been on Joe's shows and Matty Foster, so I qualify. I guess this 60-year-old will be able to put you kids to shame. Yeah, get your own channel started as well. Get your own channel started. Get chatting. We all just started chatting to a camera, really. But thank you so much for the super chat, Lord Shiogarath, which I will go and like now. I really appreciate that. But yeah, get yourself down. Yeah. And even when you have nearly 10,000 subscribers, most of my videos get way less than half of that. So it's more about the views than the actual videos. Oh my God, Darlow nearly just palmed it into his own net. Crossed. I'll go back to commentating on the game now. I've been chatting too much. They just crossed the ball into the box towards the back post, and Sia, I think it was, long ball across the back post over Byram. Byram lost his man. Header straight at Darlow, but Darlow flapped at it and pushed it onto his own bar. Very fortunately, I feel like if that was Melier, it would have gone in, and that's just his luck. Ball played out deep here. Leeds trying to stop them scoring a winner here, Milan. Here's Sia. Back to Estepinian. Tries to play it down the line here for Sia again. Good cut out there by Ilya Gruev, who tries to clear it, but it still stays in. And then it's going to be a foul by Gruev. And it's going to be a free kick to Milan here. Do you know what? Reluctantly Awake? I think there's been some trolls in this stream, right? And then because of that, people have got the back up against anyone who uses the phrase happy clappers. Don't call people happy clappers. There's a cross coming in the box here from Milan. That's going to go out for a Leeds goal kick. Don't call people happy clappers. Nobody is here is a happy clapper. Everybody has a problem with Harrison. We do. But if he is going to play for our club, you don't want him to be booed during the season in case it puts him off, because why would you want your team to be worse than it can be? Do you get what I mean? So, yeah, everybody is annoyed at Harrison, and I want him to be sold. I don't think he fits in with what we want to do. I don't think he fits in with our philosophy anymore. I don't think he fits in with the culture at Leeds anymore, given the fact that he left. But why is he any worse than Aronson? Why is he any worse than Nonto for doing what they did, wanting to get out? And we've kind of gone and forgiven them. So do you get what I mean? Just don't use the word happy clappers, because everyone thinks that you're just being a troll then, because happy clapper is such an annoying phrase. Here's Mecha. Carries the ball out to the right-hand side. Mecha then with a chance to cross the ball. Puts the ball into the box. Headed away. And now cleared again by Milan. Not very far, but very high. Great touch there by Longstaff. Now Biol. Well, BMCK, there is only 4 minutes left, so probably no point. Here's Harrison. Ramazani. Biol. Rodon, back to Biol. Here's Longstaff. Longstaff with the ball forward into Mecha. Oh, Mecha tries to chest it down there, but it doesn't go to a Leeds player. Here's Longstaff. Back to Biol. Biol now into Harrison. Down the line to Ramazani. Come on, take him on. Ramazani pokes that one back to Harrison. Yeah, no worries, reluctantly away. Like I said, I think people have got their backs up against about the trolls that were in the chat earlier. So think everybody, and if you use the word happy clapper, people think that you're in with that group. You're fine to express your opinion on Jack Harrison, absolutely. But I think it's the use of the term happy clappers. Nobody's being a happy clapper. We're just saying, like, if he does play for us, you're going to want him to do well so that he can help the team. Harry Gray, about to come onto the pitch now. Anton Stack is coming off after a fantastic performance. And Harry Gray is making his way onto the pitch. Don't know whether that suggests a slight change in formation. Oh, good little flick there. Ramazani tries to get on the end of it. And that one's bounced away to Yacobiol. Tell you what, it's AC Milan that are being pushed back into their own half, with Leeds pushing to be the winners of this game. Here's Harrison. Across now to Joe Rodon. Harry Gray comes and picks up the ball. Back to Rodon again. Piru came off. Piru came off for Mecha. Harry Gray, I think he's playing in the midfield. Good feet there from Okafor, but Leeds win the ball back and eventually play it back to Carl Darlow. Is Lucas Perry right-footed or left-footed? Because that's going to be confusing considering that Leeds have been trying to play back to Darlow's right foot for weeks and weeks and weeks at the end of the championship season. And now they're going to have to try and play to somebody's left foot, and that could cause problems. He should be able to deal with it on both, but other than Rodon, all have been replaced. You're right, actually. Yeah, the entire team's been replaced other than Joe Rodon. Even the goalkeeper who came off at half-time. Whilst I've got everyone here just before the final whistle. Oh, wait, hold on. 2 added minutes onto this game, so we're going on here. But if you do want to get any Leeds United kit, any at all, the away kit, the home kit, the third kit, any of them, make sure you use my link in the description down below. Ball comes to the edge of the box for AC Milan and skied over the bar. If you use my link in the description down below, I'll get a small kickback at no extra cost to you, and it'll just help me out in terms of revenue and stuff, so thanks so much. But yeah, ball was cut back to the edge of the box there for Sia, and he just blazed it over the bar, so we're just waiting for a goal kick here from, what's his face? What is his face? Carl Darlow. That's the one. One minute to go then here. I imagine it's going to be a 1-1 draw again. But I'm sorry, but you're taking 1-1 draw. The equivalent of an AC Milan in the Premier League is probably a top 4 team. Aronson's won the ball back. Sorry, it's actually Gray who's won the ball back here. Is in the box, tries to play it in. It's gonna go out for a Leeds throw in. If you've got someone like Byron, you've got to take a long throw in here because it's... Oh, no, actually, no. You've still got 40 seconds left, 35 seconds left. How long is my link good for? It should be good forever, I think. I don't know which one is in the description of this video. Ball thrown into the box. Flicked on. That's... Harry Gray wrestled to the ground in the box there, but nothing given. And I think that might be a Leeds corner kick. It is. I wonder if Darlow's coming up for this. Thanks, Lord Shiogarath. Really appreciate that. Harrison then to take this corner. 2 arms up. So weird seeing Harrison in a Leeds shirt again. Never thought we'd see him play for us again. Thanks so much, Karen. 1 second. The ball's come in from this corner. To the edge. Cleared away. And that's going to be the final whistle. That is going to be the final whistle. Let's stop that. And it is ending 1-1 between AC Milan and Leeds. Thank you, Karen, for the £5 super chat. I really appreciate that. She's saying thank you for the watch along, Max. Make sure everybody goes and likes that. Oh, 9 people have liked it before I even got to like it. So thanks, everybody. Look, Leeds United have drawn 1-1 with AC Milan. We've drawn 1-1 with Villarreal, and we've drawn 0-0 with Manchester United. So you have 3 draws against essentially, I don't know, a Newcastle, a Man United, and then, I don't know, a Forest or a Villa or someone. You'd be happy with those results. You very much would be happy with those results. Do you know what? We look very solid. Like, we don't look as worrying at the back. We don't. But yeah, look, amazing to win that game. To get a draw in that game. If only the point went to our Premier League total. But I think it's been a very successful pre-season. We've not lost a single game in pre-season. We have not lost a single game in pre-season. I think we've been very good. Yeah, look, there's plenty of content coming out on the channel. There is a video from today talking about all of our rivals' transfer business plus ours and comparing them and ranking them out of 10. So go ahead and check that video out as well. Make sure as well, those of you who are in the chat still, go to my Etsy link in the description. If you're in the UK, it's UK only delivery, but if you go to my Etsy link in the description, you'll find Leeds United artwork and prints that I've designed myself. So if you want to support me and get some artwork for your house, for your office or whatever, make sure you go and check that out. And even if you don't buy anything, make sure you go and hit the follow button on the shop if you've got an Etsy account, or hit the like button, the little love heart at the top, basically. That would be massively helpful to me. Of course, we will be back next Friday for a live transfer, for a live weekly transfer roundup video. Then we've got Monday night Everton live watch along, plus the previews. There'll be a tactical preview through the week. There'll be loads, and there'll be transfer videos. There'll be loads of stuff to stay subscribed for. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Thanks everybody so much. Check out all the links in the description. That would massively help me out. And I do want to say thank you so much to those of you who are continuing to support me as Leeds Lately members, and the people who have become members today. Mick became a member today, and of course, thank you to CB, thank you to Penny Lane, thank you to Lord Shiogarath, thank you to Robert Wetzel, thank you to Daz Payne, and thank you to Karen Curtin for all of your super chats today. I really do appreciate that. It really helps to keep the channel running. Thanks so much, everybody, and yeah, we shall see you in the next one, which will be Tuesday's video, then Thursday's video, then Friday's live stream, then Saturday's video, then Monday's watch along. There's so much to stick around for. Thanks for watching Leeds Lately. Everybody, I hope you all have a good weekend, and I'll be back soon.